Welcome to 2 cents short of a dollar, the show where we give our 2 cents and keep it 100. We're your hosts. That's Motiz, and I'm Rue. Boxing right now is on fire. They said after 2023, 2024 was going to be a fall off, but I think we're having a pretty good year. We just came off of Thursday night fight. Teofimo Lopez, yo, Jermaine Ortiz, like,
Ah!
bro, Teofimo Lopez. I just had to, and Jermaine Ortiz, right? So but like, all jokes aside, Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz. They fought for. I think Teo has a WBO. You know, it went the full 12 rounds, and like, honestly, like we haven't even spoke about it. Usually, I'll hit you up like, yo, you saw the fight. Like, we might not discuss our opinions, but we might at least like we haven't even nothing. So this is my first time hearing your opinion completely on this. You saw the fight. What did you think? Who did you have winning? Go ahead.
Oh man. I would say probably the most entertaining part of the fight was Teo's entrance, right? Pretty
Yeah.
lackluster. It was in the realm of Shakur and De Los Santos's fight, to be
Mhm.
honest. It was a bit more exciting. It had more exciting moments. Of course, more punches was landed in this fight in comparison to the De Los Santos and Shakur fight where they threw more. But this fight was disappointing. I thought I was going to get more fire. There's going to be more fireworks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who to blame. I would say just watching the fight, it seemed like Jermaine Ortiz really wanted to take a page out of Sandor Martin's book.
Yeah.
He kind of fought it very similarly in a way, just trying to outbox Tio. He was successful in the beginning, at least the first half of the fight, where he was kind of getting Tio frustrated to a degree, it seemed like, or at least kind of baiting him and then trying to counter him. But he wasn't really throwing consistent flurries in the pocket. And then as the fight progressed, second half of the fight, Ortiz kind of just, I don't know if he felt like in his mind he was winning clearly. He just wasn't engaging Tio as much. Tio
Mhm.
was more of the aggressor. He started kind of, hitting him to the body because he was missing a lot of punches. Ortiz looked fast, strong, but he was kind of dancing around and really wasn't trying to impose himself in certain moments where he should have. And I felt like
Mhm.
he should have kind of just sat down with punches, thrown more combinations, especially towards the end of the fight, where Tio kind of started picking his shots and started kind of catching him with 1-2 punches on top of the fact that he was trying to hawk him down, especially that 12th round. I don't even know if Ortiz even threw more than 5 punches that round. He was just trying to escape, get up out of there, try to box, throw one punch at a time. The overall is a very disappointing fight between both fighters.
Mhm.
And I had it as a draw, in my
Yeah.
honest opinion. I didn't feel like TL really did enough to really win. I thought it was a draw. That's how I scored the fight. What about you?
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, I actually had it 7 rounds to 5 for Ortiz. And then here's the reason why. I think he really flustered Tio with the southpaw, right? Tio seemed to have issues with some southpaws, and then
Yeah.
the movement around the ring. So I do think the movement at times were excessive. However, there were times when Ortiz did come, and then he brought. It's hard to say action, but he brought something. And then there was times when Tio was close and he would give him like a little jab to the body or something just to touch him. You know what I mean? And then like Tio was just like, chasing them all fight, but Tio was kind of wild, like lunging a couple times. He kind of fell because he lunged so wildly. There's a vivid flurry I can remember in the fight. And I mean, Ortiz didn't land all the punches. He maybe landed a couple, you know what I'm saying? When like Tio was like back on the ropes, come on. But I thought he brought the aggression. He pressed the action there, you know what I'm saying? You know which
Mhm.
one I'm talking about when Tio threw his backs on the rope, like, come on. And Ortiz
Yeah,
actually went
yeah.
so
There was a
I
couple
thought
of times actually where Ortiz really threw, but he missed a lot of them because
yeah,
Tio.
that's what I'm saying. He didn't land all of them. I think he landed a couple, but I'm saying he pressed the action in that point, and then that's probably the best he did it. But I feel like there was other times where Tio was just like overly baiting him, and he brought a little bit of action. So I don't think it was to the point of Shakur Stevenson moving around the ring where Shakur brought no action. You know what I mean? So because of that, I thought he was. I mean, I guess you could say Tio was the aggressor, but all the ring generalship, in my opinion, went to Jermaine Ortiz. Like that was his strategy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't necessarily running out of fair, but like that was a plan. Do I wish he would have sat and engaged more? I do. But his plan was, yo, Tio has problems with people who move, and I'm gonna move and I'm gonna utilize the ring. And honestly, if you watch Jermaine Ortiz fight before, he utilizes a lot of the ring. You know what I mean? The Lomachenko fight, he kind of approached it differently. He used his size against Lomachenko, but he's a dynamic fighter. You know, normally he fights orthodox. He came out southpaw, so this was a game plan. You know what I mean? And then another thing, and I think this kind of really was to the detriment of Jermaine Ortiz. Harvey Dock kept stopping it every time he spun Teofimo. I didn't really see the problem with it because Lomachenko does that all the time, and no one tells him stop. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 or 4 times he spun Tio and could have got some hits off. And Harvey Dock's like, stop, don't spin him. You know what I mean? I feel like Lomachenko gets away with that all the time. I didn't know it was against the rules.
Yeah, it's not against the rules. And I don't know if this, because there also was a lot of hugging too. So I don't know, because like he would spin him, but then it'll turn into a hug. So I don't know if he was just trying to prevent that. Personally, me, I think he should have just let them fight, in my honest opinion. And I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like, Ortiz, especially for that first half of the fight, he was boxing beautifully, but when you're fighting a high talent like Teofimo, you can't just continue to use that same game plan for the whole duration of the fight, right? Because what ended up happening is when you're using your leg and moving around like that, your output is going to drop because of the constant movement, and you can kind of see it. His combination started to drop a bit. Right? He started to throw less combinations. He started to throw less punches. And then Tio started landing more punches as the fight progressed. You know what I mean?
But I mean, barely though. You know what I'm saying? Like there. I remember, like he threw the double right. I remember he landed the double right. I remember that. But it's not like he started doing something significant. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I don't think Ortiz did anything significant either. Yeah. I just had it as a draw because it's just, like I said, it was just lackluster between the both of them, to be honest. You know what I mean? But I would definitely say I think Jermaine may have more. I'll have to go back and watch, bro. I'll have to go back and watch because even a lot of punches that Jermaine threw, he missed a lot. Tio really made him miss a lot. Even though it looked like he hit him, if you look back, a lot of punches was getting caught on the glove. Like Tio was catching a lot of punches. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, I don't really think anybody was landing anything clean, but I think Jermaine landed more often. I thought, like if I ask you, what was Tio's strategy last night?
I think Tio fought based off of what Jermaine was giving him. So this is how the fight went. Jermaine Ortiz had a game plan, and he was like, I'm going to stick to this game plan regardless of what happens, right? Tio fought in a way where whatever you give me, I'm going to take, right? That's why Tio at a certain point in time, he was like, bro, I'm chasing this guy around. I come in, he throws, boom. Then after a while, he keep kind of just dancing around. So he's like, all right, let me fall backwards. Let me have you come to me. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, there's some moments where when Jermaine kind of started stalking Tio was finding more success, right? Tio had a hard time cutting off the ring. I don't know what that was about, but also Tio is just not a good pressure fighter. He fights way better when he's on the back foot, right? And I think they probably noticed that from the Sandor Martin fight. But I think Jermaine's detriment was that game plan. I think that game plan ultimately cost him the loss last night, if I'm being honest. I think if he had that game plan and then he would have pressed the action and at least start throwing more, like staying in the pocket, dodge, and then start throwing combination and getting up out of there, I think that he would have been significantly more successful. And I also think that plays a part of it. I think that's experience, though. I can tell like there was like a difference in experience in terms of just him trying to, because in his mind, he's thinking he's winning. Nah, bro. So,
but I also feel like, okay, like you mentioned, Tio's way better going backwards, right? And I know that, so I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's almost like they docked him for saying, okay, I'm gonna take away your strength. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel like happened to him. He got docked for do I think at points the movement was excessive? Yeah. But as you said, like, Tio didn't really have any effective aggression. Like you said, he didn't cut off the ring. So he was just leaping wild. There was a couple times Tio almost fell out the ring because he leaped so wild with his, you know what I'm saying? Like there was so I can't really give him points off effective aggression. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and then I mean, there's no way for us not to talk about like 117, 111. That's 9 rounds to 3.
Yeah, that was that was nasty. That was disgusting. I was like, come on. And I told you this before. I said, yo, if it's a close fight, the judges are gonna score in Tio's favor. And it's crazy that Ortiz's corner or their team didn't realize that. Like you can think you're winning, but it's not like you was blowing Tio out the water, right? I don't know if they told him like, yo, we need these last 4 rounds. These last 4 rounds, these last 3 rounds, yo, we need you to start. Bring it to him. And I don't know, maybe he felt like, oh, Tio got enough punching power they could favor him, right? But like when you're in a close fight, the judges are going to favor Tio. And I felt like they dropped the ball. His corner dropped the ball on that, or he dropped the ball on that.
But I also feel like to be honest, like that's hurting boxing as well. I feel like, you know, there's this old sentiment, you got to go out, you got to take it from the champions.
Like, and it's
when I
wrong.
watch a fight, like I don't care who's who. I'm just watching this as like I don't know you, I don't know you. Who do I think won?
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like this whole you got to take it from the champion thing. I feel like
not right. Yeah, it's not right, bro.
Needs to be done away with. One thing I'll say though, and this is about Tio's temperament. I'm not sure if Tio feel like Tio won, because when Tio knows that he does good, he's real chill, he's real cool, calm, and collective. But when he feels like, yo, I don't know, I could have, you know what I'm saying? Like the Kambosos thing, rant. You know what I'm saying? The Sandor Martin thing, even though he got the nod there, he started rant last night.
Do you think he won that fight? Do you think
Sandor
he won
Martin?
the Sandor Martin fight? Yeah, because that fight was close.
I thought he lost Sandor Martin, and I thought they cheated Sandor because he should have been
because of the knockdown,
which would have really affected the score.
Yeah, because of those knockdowns. Now, my question to you is: Do you think Sandor, based off of that, if they just off of, do you think Sandor did more than what Ortiz did?
So I actually don't. But here's the thing: he got the 1 official knockdown, kind of 2 knockdowns, but so that made the score kind of like better in his favor. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that's a 10-8 round. But I do think Jermaine actually did more, but he didn't get any knockdowns. You know what I mean?
See, I feel like Sandor did more because of those 2 knockdowns. Because on a point system.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like it has to be like more because of the point system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like based off of just.
I don't know if what he actively did was more, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Like in terms of actively, I think Ortiz. But if you're looking at the fight in its entirety based off what actually happened, I think Sandor. So when you look at that and Ortiz gets the nod, I think Ortiz's team should have been like, bro, we need to cement this. We need to do more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, I don't know. But I agree with you though. I think this thing needs to start, especially the judges, where you have to take it from the champion. That is not right. Like, if a person wins, they win. You know, and I think honestly, people might have more of a case to argue Ortiz winning in that fight last night. To be honest, especially how he did in the early rounds. Phenomenal. Did good.
Back to the thing about Tio's temperament. When you see Tio start crying and then start going on these crazy rants, I feel like it's because like I said, it's just it's a character. You know what I'm saying? It's a pattern. Every time it's up for debate if he won, and he's not certain. Like he this is how he acts. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when the Josh Taylor thing happened and everybody knew that he was, you know, it was a completely different Tio that we saw. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
So. I don't know, bro. I mean, we could kind of leave it there because there's more stuff to talk about, but I definitely want to hear from the audience who they thought won this fight. So between Tio and Jermaine Ortiz, who did you have winning? How did you score the fight? Jump in the comment section, let us know.
Yeah, and lastly, let us know who would you like to see Tio fight next. If he fights Devin Haney, how do you see that fight going? I know we'll talk about this at another time, but I think this definitely, for me, Tio stock dropping my eyes, you know.